teaching in Sunday school and all of that. And later on, I became pastor of Bible Baptist Church. You talk about the transition from one place, from one job to another job. God calls you to a place and He tries to develop you, tries to refine you, tries to teach you many, many things. And we ought to be willing to obey the will of God in our lives. Number one, we ought to preach the gospel because it is the theme of the Bible. Number two, because it is the power of God unto salvation. Number three, because it warms the hearts of Christians. Number four, because it is the greatest church building method that God has given to us. And last but not least, we ought to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ because He commanded that we ought to preach it.
Amen.
We ought to preach it.
An.
Doon ay mga ginikanan nga dili nila ihatag ang ilang anak. Mag-adto sa Bible school, mag-preach, dili nila gusto. Dili nila gusto mag-pastor ang ilang anak. I remember in 1956, 1955 like that, I heard a woman in Haro, Iloilo. Tama na? Inay Haro, Iloilo in Ilonggo, he said, "To ay hindi kagid magpastor. Kaya ang pastor imol." Do you know what imol means? It means may nipon. Pobre pa. And I said to myself, here is an attitude that I wish it will never spread to the families in the Philippines. But the Lord said we ought to give our daughters and sons to serve the Lord. I think it's nice. And I'm glad that my son is serving the Lord.
Amen.
I'm glad that he's pastor of Bible Baptist Church. I'm glad that I'm not anymore the pastor. He is my pastor. And I'm the member. Is that good? Ang akong paglawang tanga si Brother Ray. Ang mapastor din si JR. Aron siya ma-emeritus. Sure, kita natatanong ako din, murag imposible din si JR nga mapastor. It is the greatest building method that God has given to us. We ought to preach the gospel. You know what the Bible says? In Mark 16:15.
Amen.
Go ye into all the world and take pictures of every picture. we have a lady in our church. Wherever she goes, she gets this telephone. Pastor, put in picture. Oh yeah.
Ano si Dr. Jenggoy pictures?
Doon natin Koreano nga, sinisag-selfie yan. May ito nahulog. Nahulog sa bagilid. Kasi picture kayo ba sa bagilid, basta kayo ba, hulog siya. Go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
Amen.
Don't take pictures. In Luke 24 verse 47, and that repentance and the remission of sins should be preached in His name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem. You know, I was reading today a portion, I forgot the section of the Bible, but it says that, you know, they preach the gospel, and they preach in the villages of the Samaritans. Here are the disciples. Here is Philip preaching to the Samaritans, to the neighbors. We ought to preach to our neighbors. Hello? We ought to preach. And we ought to preach against sin. There's a man in Dallas, he has a big church, and he said, in my church, we do not use negative words like sin. Imagine that. He doesn't mention sin in his church. John Armie said, if you do not preach against sin, don't expect salvation.
Right.
Don't expect people to be saved. If you want people to be saved, you preach the gospel. If you talk about sin, but what man is doing. And so because of this, we have to preach it because people need to go to heaven. People cannot go to heaven without the key to go. And the only key is the gospel of the Lord Jesus
Amen.
Christ. Let me close with a new story, okay? There were 3 men that grew up in the barrio in America. His name is John Newton, Lewis Waterford, and Sam Preston. They have never gone to the city anywhere in America. So every time they have somebody coming from New York, they will tell them, these three boys, 3 men, about what New York is all about. It's a beautiful city, beautiful streets, beautiful people from different parts of the globe. You see, New York is like they call the melting pot of the world. People from Czechoslovakia, Ireland, London, South America, different places, even Filipinos, they are there in New York. And so they were listening. And so one day they decided they will save money so that they can go to New York. John Newton, Lewis Waterford, and Sam Preston. And they said, well, the only way to do this is for the 3 of us to go. One day they went and they checked in at the Ambassador Hotel in New York City, big hotel. I don't know if Brother Ray saw that, but anyway, Ambassador Hotel is a big, beautiful hotel. They really want to see New York. They want to see the different sides of New York. You want to see the stores and the terminals and the subway train and all of that and all the things that can be seen in New York. New York was the greatest city in the world during that particular time. But today there are many other cities that are very nice. Dallas is very nice now. Hong Kong is very nice. Singapore is very nice. Plenty of cities even like New York. But I will tell you, during the time, they went and checked in the Ambassador Hotel. They were at the desk and they said to the clerk, give us the best and the most luxurious room in your hotel. And so, well, the clerk opened his logbook and he said, well, there's only one room that I have here available. And this is the President's room. Presidents and dignitaries stay here. Prime ministers, kings, princes, presidents in different places of the world, they come here to check in. And he said, but it is very expensive room. It's beautiful, very luxurious, but it is very expensive. So these 3 boys, John Newton, Lewis Waterford, and Sam Preston, they said, that's what we want. You give it to us. So they got the key from the clerk, and they went to the elevator with their luggage, and they went to the 29th floor. When they arrived over there, they saw the room. They opened it and they investigated everything on the inside. They went to the bathroom, they went to the CR, and there was a bathtub, there is a running water, there is telephone, there's refrigerator, and they went to the bedroom and they touched the pillow and they like to sleep.